Brothers and sisters, today we remember Saint Maurice and his companions, brave soldiers in the Theban Legion, who laid down their lives rather than betray their faith. Their story calls us to reflect on loyalty to God, loyalty to truth, and what it means to stand even when everything seems at stake. These Christian soldiers were marching under orders. Duty to the empire was part of their life. Yet when they were commanded to offer sacrifice to pagan gods, they refused. Not because they were weak, but precisely because they were strong in faith. They recognized that some demands conflict with God's commandments. They chose to obey God rather than sinners. Maurice and his companions did not fight back with sword against sword when ordered to die. They laid their arms down. Their martyrdom was peaceful, though it was violent. They accepted suffering, perhaps death, trusting that what they offered in loyalty to God could never be lost. What can we learn from them? First, faithfulness sometimes demands sacrifice. We are not often asked to die for our faith, but there are smaller deaths we must accept, letting go of pride, injustice, or habits that betray our baptismal promises. Maurice shows us that fidelity to Christ may demand a cost, but that cost is worth the treasure. Second, obedience to God holds first place. These soldiers recognize that some orders are immoral, that some traditions or commands, no matter how authoritative, cannot override the divine law. In their world, this was a grave decision. Loyalty to the emperor was expected, yet they decided that moral and spiritual obedience to God could not be compromised. Third, courage rooted in peace. They did not rebel violently. Their courage was not loud rebellion. It was quiet, resolute, suffering. They stayed peaceful, offering no resistance in arms, but witness with their lives. Their example reminds us that Christian courage often looks like patience, gentleness, nonviolence, and trust. Finally, the communal dimension of faith. Maurice was not alone. He led, encouraged, and stood with his companions. Their faith gave them strength. When the command came, they stood together. This reminds us that we are part of a community, the Church, and that we support one another when trials come. We are not meant to walk alone. So as we honor Saint Maurice and his companions, let us ask ourselves: are there areas where I choose comfort over truth? Am I willing to stand for what is right, even if it means being misunderstood or excluded? Do I support others in their struggles of faith, encouraging and comforting them? Am I ready to live loyally to Christ, even when it demands more than I would prefer? May Maurice and his fellow martyrs intercede for us, that we may be faithful soldiers of Christ, courageous but gentle, obedient but free, loyal to God above all. And here's an invitation. In our Catholic Discovery community, we've launched a daily faith challenge in the community section. Every day, a small step, a prayer, an act of charity, or a reflection, to help us live our faith more boldly, just as Saint Maurice and his companions did. Check it out and join us on this journey of faith together. And lastly, may we also remember this song, Onward Christian Soldiers. May their intercession strengthen us to be faithful soldiers of Christ. Amen.